some more developments here. We got a release of Kstuff version 1.6.7, a new Kstuff build from Stretch. So this does not support any additional firmwares that were not previously supported. It just adds a few improvements, like the auto-mounting feature for the dump runner, as well as USB rest mode support with USB monitoring, and the auto-mounting feature for the dump runner that was also released, which allows you to install your PlayStation 5 game backups and PS4 game backups if they're in their extracted form. You can install them and get them running on the PS5 using the dump runner. But since then, there's also been another update to this, which is a dump installer from Stretch as well. And this version makes it even easier to run your PlayStation 5 game backups and PS4 game backups using the homebrew launcher, the web server payload, and Kstuff. So ETA-hen is not required, but it can also be used with ETA-hen as well. And then for the dump installer itself, you can just create a homebrew folder on the root of your USB. And inside that homebrew folder, we basically create another folder called dump_installer. Make sure there's no spaces in the file name. And then inside that folder, we open up the dump installer and effectively just extract the files into that folder. That's how you install the dump installer. And then you can just extract your games to a games folder on your USB or upload them to the PS5 internally to the data folder or to a M.2 drive that you have installed. And then also the PS5 autoloader folder if you're using the YouTube jailbreak. Then you can have either ETA-hen or Kstuff in here, followed by the web server payload for the PS5. And obviously, you want to edit your autoload text file to load either ETA-hen or Kstuff first, and then the web server payload. You also want to make sure you have the homebrew loader package file also on the root of your USB drive, and then you can plug that into your PS5 and simply load up the jailbreak, which will load ETA-hen or Kstuff, followed by, of course, the web server payload. If you're using ETA-hen, you'll want to update the version of Kstuff that's included in that version using the Kstuff menu with the option to upload to the latest version of Kstuff via GitHub. Use that option to update Kstuff and then reboot the console and load ETA-hen again if you are using ETA-hen as your main jailbreak payload instead of Kstuff. And then once you have the jailbreak loaded, you can go ahead and use the package installer to install the homebrew loader. And once that's done, you can run it from the home menu. And then you can see we have our dump installer. We can select this option, and then it gives us the ability to select where our game backup is. So I can select the USB drive here, and then navigate to the location of the game dump. And once we are in that folder that contains our extracted game files, we can tell it to select that folder, and that will install it. So it creates a shortcut on the home menu that can now be used to run that game backup. As simple as that. And the big advantage of this is that you can now install games that are in other locations. So for example, I can also install a game that was installed to the internal console storage by navigating to the data folder. In there, I have an ETA-hen games folder, which contains the game dump, so I can access that game dump and select that folder, and that will install that as well, so I can launch my games from the internal storage too. So you can install your game dumps from all those different locations, internal storage, M.2 drive, or USB. And with this method, you no longer need to extract the dump runner files into each one of your game dump folders to get the game to run. This just handles everything for you automatically, which makes it a lot easier. So anyway, that's another handy feature that's been added there to improve the dump runner functionality on the PS5 as an alternative way to run your PlayStation 5 game dumps outside of ETA-hen and items flow. And over the past few days, we have continued to see even more PlayStation 5 game backups being made available. A lot more have been added since my last update, when there was already a ton of extra games that have been added recently due to the fixes that now allow many more PlayStation 5 game backups to be turned into working backups that previously did not work before. And we also have a list posted here by Zeko of some more PlayStation 5 games that are currently being worked on, that not all of these are necessarily available yet, but they are being worked on. So we have Ape Escape, Siphon Filter, Jumping Flash, Disney Pixar, Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, Harvest Moon, Back to Nature, Ape Escape, Ape Academy 2, and Story of Seasons, A Wonderful Life. So those are also game backups that are being worked on at the moment. So anyway, that's going to do it for this update. Hope you guys enjoyed this video or found the information useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And